Okay, so now that we learned how to place an animation in a Corona project, now let me show you and explain to you some of the parameters and properties that come with the SpineHelper class. So I already explained some of the parameters, but let me tell you which ones are mandatory and which are not. So the only parameters that are mandatory are the first three ones, which are the spine JSON, image sheet name, and the texture packer Lua file. Everything else is optional, and let me prove to you by running the project. And the way it works, if you don't provide a parameter, one of these, for example the skin, it's going to take the first skin it finds. The same with the animation name. If you don't provide an animation name, it's going to pick up the first animation it finds, which in this case it's a falling animation. And if you don't provide an animation loop setting of true or false, it will assume that you want the animation looping. Same for the scale and the display group. So those are the parameters. Now let me explain to you some of the properties of the animation. So let me change, let me activate some of these animations. And as you see, because let me see, animation loop is true. That's how I want it. And I want the scale to be half the size. Okay, so there we have it. Okay, so let's start explaining the properties. So the most obvious properties, of course, are the X and Y properties. And you can apply, for example, a transition animation to change the X and Y properties. So let's do that now. So let's say that I want my character to cross the screen in a time frame of 5 seconds. And there you have it. Now our animation is, our character is walking and crossing the screen. Okay, same for the Y property. So that's the X and Y properties. We can also change the rotation. So let's say that I want my character to rotate 360 degrees in a period of 5 seconds, and that is what it's doing. Okay, let's say that I want my character to rotate twice in the same period, so that's one and the second turn. Alright, so that's the rotation. You can also change the scale X and Y. Here the only thing that you have to do is that if you're going to change the scale, you make sure that you change both scale X and Y at the same time and in the same proportions, otherwise you're going to have some weird results. So let me scale the character by 3 times its size in the same period of 5 seconds. And as you can see, the character is growing. Alright, so that's scale X and Y applied to a transition, but you can also change for example, the rotation just directly from here. Like that. And here's our character rotated 90 degrees. You can also change set the flip X and flip Y, and let me explain to you how is that. So this is the original position of our character. As you can see, it has the arrow on the left hand, but you can flip the image on the X or Y axis. So let me do that. Orange guy dot flip X equal true. And if I do that, now you can see that the character is flipped and now the arrow is on the opposite side. This is really cool because let's say that you have a character that is crossing the screen from left to right, but let's say that you want the character to turn around and then start crossing from right to left. So by setting the flip X and Y properties, you can do that. So let me change now now it's going to be flipped on the X and the Y direction as well. Okay, so those are the main properties and parameters that you can set in your animation. So let me stop the video now and continue explaining the details of some of the methods that you can find in the SpineHelper module that I created for you.